Okay, here's one for the sports lovers, the sports nuts, the people that love being outside. Let's discuss chafing cream or chafing protection, chafing balms. Chafing is a bit of an issue, not even just in the sports, in some people's day-to-day life with walking and other things that they do. It doesn't probably get talked about or discussed enough as to the product itself, especially because of what chafing does. So we're trying to avoid something that happens, so we apply something. Now, I personally have used chafing cream for a long part of my life. I suffered a lot from chafing around my groin area, and it happened really bad one event. And from that day, I've been applying pretty much every day. I don't know if I would have continued to suffer or whatever. I just like from that actual event and the pain, I literally didn't. It was one of my first marathons, or I think it was a training event actually, before the marathon. And I got really bad chafing between my legs and on my nipples. So going into the shower after, as you all, or not all, but a lot of people that do, going into the shower after you've had some chafing, that water, when it hits it, it is so painful. So after that event, I went and bought a lot of chafing. Never suffered from chafing before in my life. And someone told me something, and I went and I just bought it. I didn't even question anything. I bought it. And I used to lather my groin in between my legs, close to my private areas. I used to put so much just because I didn't want to chafe again. And then I put it on my nipples, and I then started to use also tape as well. Now, chafing doesn't just stop in those areas. I then got severe chafing when I went from marathons to triathlons. I got severe chafing from my wetsuit at the back of my neck. So that's, whoever wears wetsuits, it can be a surfer, it can be a triathlete, it can be a swimmer. And so I used to apply it a lot on the back of my neck. There was one event I did, I got bad chafing. I think my wetsuit was a bit small, but it just kept rubbing on the back of my neck. And then after, I just used to always put it on the back of my neck. Regardless, when I put on my wetsuit, I put it on the back of my neck. Now, we chafe in all other areas, such as under our armpits. And the biggest issue is that when we apply it, you may not have any cuts or bruises, cuts or abrasions, and you may. And then we are applying this chemical-filled product on top of any open cuts or wounds or abrasions. And it can also happen during training or the event or whatever you're doing. So the issue is that you put it on to prevent it, but generally speaking, a lot of the time you'll be doing the event and you'll say, oh, I can feel that I'm starting to chafe, and you don't reapply, or you reapply a bit after that, after you've felt it. And by that stage, you've opened the skin or you've got a little wound, and that is a direct avenue to your bloodstream. And we keep applying this product, which is full of chemicals. And the other concern, and when I started questioning this, especially for myself, is when I went for a long run or I sat on a bike and I put product really close to my private areas, which are highly absorbent. These areas, whatever you're putting there, are generally going directly into your bloodstream. So ladies and women that sit on a bike or go for long runs and they suffer from chafing around their groin area, they are applying a lot of chemical products to those sensitive areas, and they are highly absorbent areas. We also, again, we apply it to open wounds because we don't want to continue to chafe. I think we should start to question these things. These products are full of silicons, petroleum-based ingredients, synthetic fragrances, preservatives, alcohols. I mean, a lot of the time, those smells that we get from those products, they've got fragrances. And sometimes it will just say fragrance, but it could be 10 fragrances, and we don't even know that. half the time you can't even read the ingredients on some of the products. I mean, that's just crazy in itself. So I just recommend that if you're going to do a long events, training, or actual events, and they're going to be long and you suffer from chafing, I would get your chafing product, read the ingredients, understand them, and just know where you're putting the product. And also, if you've got a little nicks and abrasions already from previous chafing, I would try to get an alternative until that has healed up. Our skin is tough. It's 4 layers before it gets to the bloodstream. And that's why I'm saying if you've already got abrasions and little cuts and stuff, just think about anything you put on those open wounds, because they are direct avenues to your bloodstream. And as I said, most of the products are full of chemicals. Now, there are alternatives. You can create your own concoction if you want. Otherwise, yeah, you could use coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax. Beeswax is really good for friction, beef tallow. And then if you want to use oil, if you like the flavors and scents and fragrances, use natural ones. Use lavender and lemon and vanilla and peppermint or whatever floats your boat. But you're going to be putting these things close to your private areas, which are highly absorbent. Use natural ingredients. Go and find products that are low in chemicals, as natural as possible, or create your own ones. It will be cheaper, and again, you know what's in there. It'll be 4, 5, 3 ingredients, whatever you decide to make. But if we're going to be using products close to our sensitive areas or open wounds or abrasions, just be mindful of what you're putting on those areas and make better decisions, healthier decisions. And you know what they say, happy skin, happy life.